What happened to the bowls I brought home?
I didn't do anything with them.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't bring them in.
Maybe.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to just kind of jump into tonight was the big announcement, which is, I was talking to you a little bit about it earlier. Thursday will be the Peppermint Mocha Shakeology launch. And I had thought it was on Monday at first, so I don't know if they like moved it up because there's so much hype about it. But it will be Thursday. I think it launches at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I think that's 1 p.m. Central Time, which means you got to be on your computer or your phone or whatever, because if it's like pumpkin spice when it first launched, like it literally like sold out in like 5 or 6 hours, I think. So I'm sure they have more in stock just in case that happens, but it's a cool thing to have that seasonal flavor to just kind of mix in with your usual shakes. So super pumped about that. But that's the only announcement I really have because I don't know yet what promotions we're going to have in November. I haven't got my Diamond Leader email or anything yet. So I'll keep you guys posted whenever that comes down the pipe. But I am super excited to talk about something that I think doesn't get shared enough in the coaching world, or we're trying to like hit on more. And I feel like the end of the year is always a good time to embrace that, because that's always a transitional period from kind of how this year has ended and kind of where you want to take things in the new year, kind of your evolution of your phase in life and different things like that. And I feel like as long as I've been in this business over 4 years now, I feel like vision and having like this deeper seated why and purpose for why you are a coach is the biggest thing that drives people forward and gets them to continue showing up and staying consistent in this business. And it is always changing. Mine, like in the very beginning, was just to get me out of this place where I felt like I didn't have any drive. I didn't feel like I was myself anymore. I feel like I was lacking motivation across the board. I was very anxious, depressed, like struggling to find myself in motherhood and find what I wanted to do in life. And since then, it has evolved from like that and wanting to pay off debt, but also now it's more so like this kind of clear vision I see for our family, where I don't necessarily care about like what our house looks like, but right now my girls have like no yard to play in and we live right off of a busy road. So just having this big yard, I don't know what it all looks like necessarily, but having this big yard where they can roam and play. I want like a bay window office area so I can, if they're playing outside, I feel comfortable being able to watch them. If I need to work in my office, or having this big patio where I can sit out and like run and play with them some, but then also come and like do whatever I need to do, you know, mom stuff, like things like that, or just read and just be out there with them. Things like that. And last year we went on our first ever family beach vacation and they loved it. Like some kids don't like the sand, but my girls thrived in it. And so to be able to just do those things more, just pick up and do those things more, make memories like that as a family. I've never been to Disney. I'd love to take them to Disney someday, and just little things like that. And I see coaching as kind of being like that catalyst. I also see it as like this potential to someday allow my husband, if he wants to work less hours or work part-time or PRN, and be able to write more and pursue his passion. Like I see all of those things as being possible with coaching. So it went from just like giving me an escape and giving us a way, or me a way to make an income at home, to now being able to like fuel like our family's future and being able to create more memories and have more time to just like be us and allow my kids to be kids and things like that. So that's kind of how my vision has evolved. And I'm sure as my girls get older, it will continue to change. And as this business grows, it will continue to change. But I feel like always having it's okay if you're not there yet, but just always keeping in mind that there is that potential. There is possibility. There is this like bigger picture that you can create for your life through coaching, and just knowing that that is there, I think is the biggest thing that can kind of help pull you through whenever you're going through a season of like a lot of people giving price objections or saying no, or because it happens, coaches quitting and people not wanting to be in your challenge groups anymore. Like, I think that is the biggest thing that kind of helps you get over that hump. And I asked Paige to hop on and share her story because she has evolved just in the little over 2 years that she's been a coach. She has been able to go from wanting to pay off debt to just seeing the bigger picture. And that is ever evolving for her as well, of what coaching can do and what it has done and where she's at now, as she is in her first few months as a full-time coach since she stepped away from teaching back in the spring. So, Paige, I would love to hear you share a little bit more about your insight on vision and your story.
Yeah. So, hi, Emily. I don't know if you know anything about me, but I'm Paige. Elena and I have known each other. I don't remember meeting Elena. We've known each other my whole life because our dads worked together growing up. And coaching has been the thing that has allowed me to, I would say, like, reclaim my dreams, like reclaim that part of me that is a dreamer. Because I went to college as a business major, and I went to college and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, so I probably need to just figure out my life and switch. I was convinced to do education. I became a teacher, and I feel like being a teacher kind of a little bit of my dreamer heart because it was so rigid. And coaching brought that dreamer part of me back out. And not only did it bring it out, but it made me realize that I can dream really big things. I can have these visions for my life, and I can actually achieve them. And it's insane that I started coaching a little over 2 years ago, and then I stepped away from my full-time teaching career in 2 years. Literally, it was under 2 years, actually, because I started coaching in June 2017, and I officially resigned in February of 2019. So it was less than 2 years that I was able to make a PowerPoint girl, but I do have a PowerPoint to keep myself just on track. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. It's extremely short, so it's not like a 50 slide thing, but I just want to make sure that I'm time efficient. So when I first made the decision to become a coach, I remember looking at my upline, Megan, which I'm sure you know who she is, and I can remember her paying off all of her student loans with coaching, and that was the thing that really drew me in because the loans were like on my heels. I was about to have to start paying them off. And when I looked at the loan payment versus our budget, I was like, holy crap. Like, when these loans hit, we're going to be living like poor people. Like, literally, that's no joke. With 2 teaching incomes, I was like, I don't want to live a life like that because we had 2 years of just 2 full-time teaching incomes, living in an apartment that was super cheap. And by the time they were coming at us and we were going to start paying them after our masters were both over, so we had undergrad plus masters, we were living in our house, expenses were a little bit higher, and I was just like, our whole budget is going to be gone. Like, we're not going to be able to do anything fun. We're not going to be able to travel. We're not going to be able to go out to eat. We would have made it, but I didn't want to just make it. So I began asking Megan, like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And just tell me how I can do this too. And when she finally showed me all the things coaching had provided for her, and I saw that she had paid off all of that debt, and she asked me what my goals were, I said, to be honest, I just want to pay off, like, I want to pay my loans. Like, in my mind, I was like, if I could just pay my loan payment, then we can keep living life how we've been living, and this coaching thing can take care of that probably. So the funny thing is, after we had this all figured out and I felt so excited about it, I actually ended up telling her no. And I can remember when I came back like 2 months later, probably I was like, okay, I'm still thinking about this. Like literally every single day, I probably should just jump in. She asked me a really important question that she probably doesn't even know, and I think I've shared with her. But she said, if you're not going to pay those loans with coaching, then how? And that was it. That was all it took for me. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm going to pay the loans if not coaching. I guess we'd live on bread and water, or maybe I'd go get a second job at Starbucks. I don't know. I had no idea, but I knew that I did not want to live a life of just like paying everything we had to bills and loans. I knew that for sure. So I ended up jumping in, and I had a very clear vision from day one what I wanted to do with my coaching money. And I knew there wasn't even a second option for me, because when she said, if not this, how? Like at that moment, I knew this was plan A and there was no plan B, because I was not going to get a second job. I was a teacher, a volleyball coach, very active in our church, a wife, like my family lives far away, so busy. I knew I didn't want to get a second job where a boss told me when and how I should come in and when and how I should work and when and how I should conduct myself. Like I didn't want to do that because I already had a job with a boss. The last thing I wanted was 2 bosses. So the thing that was most attractive to me was the potential to earn, because I knew I could, and then it's on my own time, my own schedule. So I knew going in what I needed to do, plus my husband was skeptical. So for me, it was like, I'm going to make this work, otherwise he's going to make me quit. And then where would we be? Eating bread and water for dinner every night? That's not going to happen. So I had 3 visions really at the very, very beginning. My first one really was to pay off my loans. I was going to be successful because I was not willing to live this life of just like mediocre living where we live to pay bills. I just was not going to do that. The second thing was I just really wanted to live healthily. I never had a consistent healthy lifestyle. It was always important to me, but only for summer. So my vision was, and I told Ethan this, it's so funny thinking back. I was like, if I can just make this work through all pregnancies and I can like get my body back after pregnancies and then I quit, I'll be fine with that, because it's been one of my fears for a really long time to gain weight. That was my thing when I went to college. That's my thing before I ever even have babies. I'm like, I don't want to gain the pregnancy weight. So I was like, if I can just do this through that, that'll be great. Get my body back. And then the third thing for me was I was going to pay for my hair. I get my hair done every 6 to 10 weeks. And before coaching, I always felt so guilty because it's a big expense. It's like $120 every 6 to 10 weeks. And I felt guilty going to pay for it with our money. I'm like, gosh, this is like one of our biggest expenses because I just enjoy doing it. So I remember thinking, I'm also going to pay for my hair. That way I can go. And my hope was, because I really want to go every 6 weeks on the dot, but, for money reasons, I usually wait 8 to 10 weeks. So I thought, when I get to the point that I'm making enough money, I'm freaking getting my hair done every 6 weeks and never want roots again. I've not done that yet, but that's still on my vision board. And now my vision has changed a little bit. And that's the really cool thing about coaching is just like Elena was saying at the beginning, when you start coaching, your vision does not need to be something that's like earth shattering. You just need those things that are going to push you and make you not quit. And for me, I did not want to live a life where all of our money went to bills. Like I was just unwilling to do that. And I saw no other way. And I think that's the mindset you have to have no matter what phase you are in your business, because right now my vision is changing and it's bigger and it's different and it is a little more earth shattering to me. I feel like it's those big things that I really want to do, like change the world type things. But in the beginning, it's not, because you're just not there with your business yet. But you still have to have those things that are going to push you and that vision and that why. That way when it sucks, because it will, and when people tell you no, and when you don't hit the Success Club numbers that you wanted to, or you don't get any coaches, or your dream coach just quit, you're like, okay, I can do this, because my vision is to not live on bread and water. Like I want to go out to eat. And I want to still take vacations, and I want to get my hair done, and I want to pay for these loans with this. So I refuse to give it up. If you don't have a vision, if you don't know why you're doing it, in that moment, it would be so easy to just throw it out. Like it's just another thing that's stressful. It's just another thing that I'm not good at. It's just another thing that I'm wasting my time on, because your vision's not there. Your vision is the thing that's going to push you forward. So now I feel extremely blessed to be able to change my vision. Those things that were my vision then, they're still part of my vision now. Like, I still pay for my hair out of my coaching income. My debt is not gone, so that's still a driving force for me. And of course, I want to live healthily. And I know without a doubt, if I quit coaching, I also quit being healthy. Like, I don't have enough discipline to do this on my own, and I know that. So those are still driving forces for me. But now I'm able to dream a little bit bigger and think about traveling, and even maybe blessing other people and helping them travel. Ethan and I talk all the time about, if I continue to grow my business at the rate it's grown, we will have more money than we know what to do with. We just will. Because right now we're good. We don't need more money. We truly don't. We are okay. But as my business grows, I know that we will be given more money. And my heart, and Ethan's heart especially, is to use that money to bless other people. And before I was a coach, that wasn't a possibility. Like, I'm scared, honestly, about the possibility of how much money I can make with this business, because I know to whom much is given, much is expected. And I know that if I am given this huge financial blessing, I'm going to be expected to steward that well. And what a blessing to be able to even have that vision to say, God, tell me, like, how do I think about money, and how do I process having this money, and what I do with this money to bless other people so it doesn't become something that's so self-absorbed. And I never would have had the opportunity to wrestle with those questions had I not accepted the coaching, because teachers don't teach for the money. It's not there. But now that I'm a coach, like, I'm able to wrestle with these things, and we're able to dream about blessing people in ways we never would have before. And then the third thing now that pushes me is the time freedom to chase other passions and find new passions that I never knew I had because I was too busy at school. Just doing this job, just living this mediocre life I'm so thankful for teachers, but it's not me. And I'm thankful that coaching showed me that teaching isn't for me. So now I get to go out and figure out, okay, what do I actually like to do? Because so many of us spend our lives at work that we don't ever even think about what we like to do outside of work. And I find myself thinking, like, what do I want to try? Like, what groups do I want to be a part of, like, in my community? Where do I want to serve with my time now that I never had the opportunity to do with before? So when you're thinking about your vision, thinking about all of these things, what do you want to do with your time? What do you want to do with your money? What kind of passions do you want to chase? Because maybe coaching is giving you that time freedom. So my corporate mentor asked me earlier in this week, and this is kind of on what I was talking about knowing that I'm going to see success. I'm going to see, like, insane amounts of money. I know that because my business isn't going to stop growing. Because I refuse to stay stagnant. And she said, what would you do with $56,000? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with $56,000 if you deposit it into my bank account tomorrow. I have no idea. But she challenged me to think about it. And the reason she asked me this is because I don't know if you know about star bonuses, but if you have 15 diamonds on your team, this is equal to a quarterly bonus. Can you imagine 4 times a year, $56,000 being dropped into your bank account, all because you have 15 girls who have the same vision, who are running hard, who can do what you want to do? Like, that's not even that many people when you think about the grand scheme of the world. 15 women to run with you. That is it. I know I can do that. I don't even have to question. I know I can do that. So then I'm asked to think about, okay, what in the world am I going to do with that abundance of money that I don't actually need? And that takes me back to blessing people. And for me, that's spoiling my team. So now I'm creating these visions of, what is going to make my team run with me? And it's going to be that I spoil the crap out of my leaders for running their businesses in the way that helps them see success. When they're helping people and they're seeing success and I'm seeing success, then it just flows right back to them. So then I'm dreaming over here, like, okay, I'm going to take those 15 leaders on a ski trip. Like, I'm going to pay for them. I'm going to spoil them, and I'm going to bless them. That is my vision, is that I'm able to give people experiences that they never would have had before because they said yes to coaching. And I want to challenge you. I don't really care where your business is. It doesn't matter, because every single coach that is a coach, Ashley Mole said, number 1, she sat where you're sitting. At some point, she sat where you're sitting. But because she chose to go all in, I'm sure she has this deposited into her account once a quarter. I'm sure she does. she's a superstar, right, Elena? Surely
Yeah.
she is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But every single person who is a superstar diamond who has this bonus, they have been where you are. They just made the choice to go for it. And now they get to spoil the crap out of their leaders. And they have this vision that they're creating because they chose to. And it's just such an amazing thing that we even have the opportunity to dream like this. So each one of us has this responsibility to say, what are we going to do with the opportunity that coaching has given us? And what vision do we want to create and then see happen? So I wish that I had my vision board with me still. It's downstairs where I did my call last night, but it was just so cool to go look at my vision board from last year. It was just about a year ago that I ran a call where we crafted this vision together. And it's insane to see how many things that I put on my vision board last year that have come to fruition this year. Just a few examples. I can remember sitting in my classroom and thinking, all I want to do right now is go to a coffee shop and talk to people about coaching. All I want to do right now is go to a coffee shop and sit and listen to what's going on in a woman's life so I can encourage and pray for her. And I have this picture on my vision board. And the day that the teachers went back to school this year, I was in Seattle having coffee with two girls in Seattle that I met on Instagram, sitting there having coffee talking about life. Like, if that's not like a full circle moment, I don't know what is. The second one that comes to mind is last year at this time I wasn't serving in my church because I didn't want to, because I was too busy. I just didn't want to, because I was like, my free time is my free time. I don't like being at school. I don't want to like go home and then go serve. Like, I just want to be home and spend my time the way I want to spend it. And now that my full day is spent like doing the work that I love, I'm serving at my church now. I have 2 ministry positions where I'm part of the creative team, which is so fun for me. And I'm also doing social media. I wasn't doing those things this time last year because I didn't have the time freedom to do it or the want to do it, to be quite honest. So there are so many things on my vision board. There are some that haven't come to fruition yet, and that's fine. They'll stay there until they do. But had I not had a vision of what I wanted from coaching, I would have never achieved it because I wouldn't have even known what I was working towards. So your small goals of emerald, diamond, making an income, all those things are good. But if there's no why behind that, if there's no real vision for why emerald, why diamond, why the income, it doesn't matter. And when it comes to your business getting really hard, without that vision that you're working towards, you're going to throw it away because you're not going to realize that this is the way you get to that vision. There are other ways. I'm not going to lie about it. There are other ways that I could achieve the things that I have, but I don't see any other way that is as fun, encouraging, life-changing, and quite honestly, like, simple. It is a simple business, and I cannot think of any other business I could have created 2 years ago that could have led to all of those visions that I talked about coming to fruition in a year's time. Like, I have matched my full-time teaching income plus exceeded in 2 years and stepped away to pursue it full-time, and I can't think of one other thing that I would have had that opportunity. I really can't. So my challenge to you and my challenge to my team last night was to just sit and think and take time. It's going to take time to sit and think about what you want. It's going to take you getting alone. It's going to take you maybe getting out a journal and really thinking about what you want from this, and then using that vision. I would even say create the vision board, even if it's just on Pinterest. Using that vision to remind you in times where it sucks, because it will, the reason why you're going to keep going instead of just throwing it all away. Because the vision that you have in mind is worth fighting for. Like, no matter what, it is worth fighting for. And coaching is the thing that's going to get you there. Like, I have no doubts about that.
Thank you. That was awesome. Yeah, I actually, like, my little desk is just set up in like an alcove of our dining room, but I have like a whole wall of pictures of family. And then I have like my vision board. It's 2 years old because I didn't hit a lot of my visions last year, so I kept a lot of them. But it's like things like that window that I was talking about, that big window. It's like new leader conference, which I am getting invited to that. That is one thing I've hit. It's got my 5-star dining. It's got my office setup, which this isn't my dream like office, but it's a good setup that works for me now. Like a picture of 2 little girls walking on the beach, like little things like that. Like, those things motivate me. And just I just love seeing pictures of my family because they are the main reason I do everything that I do. And I try to tell my girls that when they think I'm just playing on my phone, like mommy is working, like I try to always tell them, I was like, I'm going to give you my best attention. Just let me finish this thing I'm going to do, and then I'm all yours. So, like, just being able to work that in through the little cracks of our day. But yes, I love that. I think that keeping visuals around to remind you are huge. Like, I even have, like, my, like, more, like, business, like, goals every month I have written on a board, like, right by my desk. To kind of help keep me motivated too. So I have like my numbers goals and then like my picture goals, like family stuff. So yes. Emily, do you have any questions or anything? Like Emily's a brand new coach. She's only been a coach like a week and she's going to be Emerald on Thursday. Yeah.
Wait, it's Emerald Thursday?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She is a veteran. So she's hooking up some people that get free coach.
Oh, and that is awesome.
So it's been awesome. But there are also people that like have like the health and fitness and like know how to push their body physically and stuff like that.
That's amazing. Emily, my best advice is go all in now. Like, I feel like maybe I'm different than a lot of people. Like, a lot of people hold the brakes. I don't think Elena's that type of person either to hold the brakes. I think we both went all in from day one. But the longer you wait, the harder it is. Like, just go. Like, post every single day and invite people and have fun with it and be yourself. And literally, like, I don't know what you do for your full-time career. You may love your job or whatever, but either, like, I see it as two options. Like, you can make a full-time income within 2 years. Like, literally, I truly believe that's possible for pretty much anybody if they're willing to go. You can make a full-time income in 2 years and have 100% time freedom and design your day how you want. Or maybe even better case scenario, you love your job, you make that income, and you have a full-time income on the side. Like, I wish I wanted to teach. I do, because we were living the high life for 2 years. It was insane. But I just don't. Like, I don't want to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the goal. I just wanted, I didn't, like I told Elena, I didn't jump onto the coach side of things because of any need for any extra income. Obviously, everybody wants to make more money. That never hurt. I'm a single full-time working mom, so any extra anything is a huge assistance, but that's not my drive. My drive is not to make the money. My drive has always been to demonstrate within myself the abilities that other single moms can do, or either, other married moms that have the kids that have the time constraints that they feel they just can't do anything for themselves. Like, they just don't feel like they can do anything for themselves. And I was in that same position 5 years ago, the first time I bought something from Beachbody, so I'm just trying to use myself as the product, and not necessarily the money, but I know that appeals to people. So, I'm trying to find that balance now, being brand new, with trying to expose myself the way that I always had while kind of tying the Beachbody into it. Which gives me a little bit of confidence because now I've got something reputable behind me. It's not just, look what Emily can do, but also, like tying that income into it too. And I do have tons of people I can target that can jump on board to the coach thing for completely free.
That's amazing.
And I've gotten some nibbles, I've gotten girls to reach out to me like, okay, tell me more. I want to hear more. And I give them my spiel and then I hear nothing back,
Yeah.
and like it guided me, like, give it a couple of days and then say, hey, you have any more questions? And I've gotten some, yeah, absolutely do. I'm thinking about it, and then I've gotten some like ignoring.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. I'm resilient. So
yeah. Yeah, you've got to be as a coach. You really do.
Yeah.
Something I was thinking, even if it's not for the money for you, though, like, what an incredible opportunity that you can give the gift of earning an income to other people, even if it's not what you need. There are so many moms in your position who do need that. So
yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's a really cool opportunity and a reason for you to talk about income, even if it's not like you're depending on it. Like, you have this gift. Like so many people need more money to survive. Like, what if you could give a mom a gift of, here's this income opportunity so you can get off government assistance. Here it is. All you got to do is take it. Like, what a gift that you can give somebody.
Well, and I know one thing that that you shared with me too, Emily, is your like passion with your flying lessons and things like that, and how much money that takes. Like, just being able to use this even for that, like, because that's a big passion of yours. So being able to fund that passion is huge.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
it's super cool, and I'm super excited for her.
Me too. Yeah, because I mean, just like once I was like, wait, it's completely free for me to do this coaching thing, and I don't really have to even like put myself out there any differently than I already do. Like, it was a no-brainer. Like, I regret not doing it so long ago, you know. So, but
We've
now
all
that
been
I'm here,
there.
I'm like,
Yeah.
now that I'm here, I'm like, let's do this. Like, I'm excited about it, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm not a really pushy person. I just like, I don't know. I bought a Kirby when I first moved here. You guys ever heard of the Kirby vacuum cleaners?
Oh yeah.
And when I love a product and when I love something, everyone in my circle knows how much I love it. And I'm like a salesperson. They're like, why don't you should be a Kirby salesman. I was like, I don't want to be a salesman. Like, I don't want to sell vacuum cleaners for a living. Like, but I just have a big mouth. So when there's something great that people need to know about, I can't help it. Like, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. And people know that about you, so they know if you're passionate about something, you believe in it. So
Right.
that's a huge trait. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'll annoy people if I'm excited about something. I will annoy them. So
It will be a pain, absolutely. But I have no shame. Like, it's fine. People can tune me out.
well, thank you so much for getting on, and Paige, thank you so much for sharing. I will try to get this recording uploaded to our team page too. So if you need to come back, or if you ever have doubts and need a good pump you up, then you can tune back in. But